lovely lot, and welcome once again to the beautiful Old Hull Fishery on Woody End Lake.
Woody End, I'm glad you said that right.
Scene is, I know, it could have gone all to pot then, Jay, to be fair. Scene of the famous victory, scene of the famous bombing incident, wasn't it, mate? Got a little treat for you later on as well, folks, but more about that later. So, we're going to go through, we've got a few videos to do, haven't we, today?
Yes, we've got a little bit to do today, haven't we?
Some challenges again, we're going to smash them to bits. But first up, we're going to tell you about some little tips we've got for mugging fish, haven't we, mate?
Yes, it has. It's the perfect sort of day, isn't it? We've come here and it's just a bit warm.
It's a bit shady here. I started off in my shorts, folks, and I've had to put my joggy bottoms on.
It's a bit cold. It's coming though, isn't it? We'll be out in a minute.
Got like goosebumps and everything.
But it isn't it? It is, like you said, just before spawning time.
Get ready.
At some venues.
Yeah.
So it's mugging time. When you're seeing them fish all over the top, and I don't know about you, but
I mean, you Jedi master at pretty much everything, Jay. But mugging, like you silly, like, you do me head in, mate.
No, but it's not.
Remember the partridge one? That's what I remember best, when he had like what? 4 fish for like 116 pounds.
12 fish for 108 pounds. I don't think anyone's ever done that there. But it was that sort of day. But that was different. That was like dobbing. That was like just putting it in the reeds. But mugging for individual fish.
Yeah.
That's what we want to focus on with this one, don't we?
Definitely.
A proper Marmite one that some people love and some people think it's not fishing. But
I think it's that concept they do, Jay. But I think it comes when, you know, people seem to like stand up on a box. You know, should it be allowed? Should it not be allowed? I mean, sometimes you stand up to cast in. So, you know, why not? Why can't you like make at it and all that and look round? You know what I mean?
There's a massive skill to it.
That should be like fishery rules, shouldn't it? If it's allowed, then you've got to do it, haven't you?
Definitely. It's going on that line as well. I believe now that if mugging's an option in the first few hours of a match at the right sort of venue, not an F1 venue, a carp venue, you cannot not do it.
No,
because nothing competes with it, does it?
100%. And they're always, well, we say always, it's big fish, isn't it?
Yeah.
And they're just sort of like these wobbly ones that just like hook into them, like, what's going on? I shouldn't have been caught at this depth. And like, they're in the net in no time, aren't they?
Yes, it is phenomenal. So what we want to talk about is a few little, little tips to each aspect of the mugging, be it rigs, feeding, whatever, or non-feeding, whatever, that we can make a difference.
Yeah, man.
So first off, we'll chat about rigs, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
And what we'll focus on first, types of floats. Have you got yours?
Yeah, I've got mine here. Do I go for yours first? I'm going to mine.
That's similar, isn't it? What we're
on
about.
Similar. It's just like weighty, isn't it?
What we're after, it's the weight in it. The weight on a mugging rig is everything. Yeah, in how you have it. I mean, we've got two, and these are a lot heavier than the one I've got set up.
Beast mode, isn't it, Rich? Beast mode, dude.
Yeah, but what it allows, the weight of your float, you want sort of a 0.2 to a 0.4, I'd say. Yeah. Maybe a 0.5 on a special occasion. And the weight of your float dictates how much line you can have, in between your float and your pole, which you do need. It's not like a conventional shallow rig where you can have 2.5, 3 foot.
Yeah, no more than that.
Do you know what I mean? You're going to be pushing it. Even with, in my case there, with me lighter version, a 0.2 float, I've got 4.5, 5 foot of line.
Yeah.
I mean, any more line that I need, if I need to swing it further, then I'd swap to that sort of float. What was that hand about?
It's about 0.4, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's got 8 number 8s.
Even bigger then, nearly that's
0.5.
As big as you get.
0.5, isn't it?
Yeah. But you need it for that weight, don't you?
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, whatever it takes.
Especially if there's a bit of wind, but you know, it's all about, obviously the rig's not in there for long enough either, is it, Joe? We need to touch on that. How often you sort of like putting it in front of them, and it can be a case of chasing them, can't it?
Yeah, it's seconds, isn't it? 10 seconds,
definitely.
your rig's done.
It's when you see that fish, when you're going for it, and you sort of like just miss it a bit, but then it sort of stops in its tracks and sort of like hears something, then turns around and nails it.
They're the good days when they all come and have it, isn't it?
So good.
Yeah, massive. So that's the first thing you've got to work out, is just using, say, the right size of float for the right length of line that you've got. Say some days you need a big long one to get it right away from your pole. Other days you get a shorter one in it. For me, it all comes down to whether they're responding to noise or not.
Right, okay.
Some days you need a little light float.
Yeah.
Because
it can be a bit spooky, can't
they? Yeah, I mean, they'll have a little look, but they can be very wary. Whereas other days you whack the water and they turn around and look at it.
I think it's when they're in like pods of 3s and 4s, they tend to like nail it a lot quicker. If it's just a single one, it can be a little bit, nah, not today, mate, and just carry on his way, won't it?
Something a little bit more subtle, so that the size of the float you choose is very important with that. So materials of your float, for me, I don't think it matters.
No, definitely not.
Because it's instant, it's not like a shallow rig, is it?
Yeah, this bit doesn't matter whatsoever. It's how it falls through the water and where you present that bait in front of the fish, innit? Yeah. Definitely
keeps it nice. I want to talk about next, I want to talk about your hook lengths.
Go on.
Length of hook length, because I'm liking that more than mine at the minute.
Yeah, obviously the reason I have so like 12-inch hook length, and we'll touch on lines in a bit, but basically you can get away with fishing dead heavy because the fish aren't there to inspect your rig. But hook length wise, the reason I have it so long is just it falls natural through the water, but more importantly, when you're fishing dead shallow, how many times have you have it where your shots are all over the place?
Yeah, bunches up, I have it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because I don't want to fish 6 inches.
Yeah.
That's never really a mugging depth, is it? 6 inches. It's normally I'd say the shallow is probably about 12 inches.
Yeah, that's it.
So like you say, because I've got a bulk there above, and I've still got all this till I get to me knot, you do find that it can bunch
obviously
up a little bit.
what we're thinking about as match anglers, folks, is them shots moving down the line, you know, that, what, 5 to 10 seconds spent of putting your shots back under your float, that
fish.
over 5 hours might be an extra few fish, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
it's stopping you getting that fish in it. How often when you're mugging,
you're like,
when you're playing one and you net it, there's one there, isn't there?
Yeah,
so you literally want to
definitely.
be back in and on that, because that's when you, for me, that's when you look for them, is when I'm playing a fish.
100%.
What I mean, that's
You're
it.
massive
Where's
for
the
that,
next
aren't
one
you?
coming into your
Every
peg?
time you see you playing the fish, you're like, where's my next one coming from?
Yeah.
Seeing that
it
all
speeds
the
the
time.
process up, doesn't it?
Just a make, ain't you? Make
what
it,
we're
you're on like, woo, squirrels, isn't you, everywhere.
It is, but it's mega in it for getting them quick.
And
So with your rigs,
that's why, obviously, that longer hook length, it's not allowing them shots to go back down there, so the chop's in there, so you're like straight back in with it again.
yeah, your rig's perfect without you having to mess about with it, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%. But I've seen you got your favourite bait on there as well.
Lovely. We'll talk about them in a minute. Bestest baits in the world. But in fact, yeah, I'm happy with that with rigs. Like you say, components.
Lines.
a
Talk
group
about
of-
we can get away fishing dead heavy, can't we?
Yeah, 020 main line in it.
Doesn't make a blind bit of difference, folks. Honestly, forget about your dainty 014 and 016 and all that. No, just fish heavy.
Yeah.
When you up that fish, you want it in.
Yeah.
It doesn't make a blind bit of difference. It
No,
really
and
doesn't.
even Yorkland, you can fish happily, or 015 is probably the lightest I go mugging. You go even anyway.
Yeah. So I'll do 022 or 025 main line and I'll go 020 up length. Honestly, I don't think it makes a blind bit of difference.
you
I
probably
really don't.
agree, yeah. It just gets the job done, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
But it's so instant. They have it within a second, don't they?
Yeah, yeah.
That's
What
what makes a
about
difference.
colour top kits? I know we touched on it before, and you know, we hear about it all the time. We get the question asked loads about white top kits or blue today, folks. You know what I mean, with the blue sky. Do you think it makes a difference today?
Don't know.
I think it's if you think it does, it's confidence, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I'd go with. Yeah, if you feel it, catch you a few more fish, why not?
Reality. In fact, we'll show it today, Rich. I've got a white top kit. It's still casting the shadow.
Yeah, of course it does.
Still casting the shadow, and that's what's going to spook the fish.
Yeah, it may make a difference on a dull day, mightn't it?
Yeah.
In clearer water,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
today, no.
No.
But that's it. In fact, let's touch on that. Are we going to touch on Yeah, let's talk about that. No, in fact, I'm going to save that. Shadows. Till we're doing that, wait, we're out there, then I'll talk about shadows.
How dare you?
So we can show
Yeah,
it
go on,
then,
go
and he's on it. So right, so
like that.
next, hook baits in it.
Yeah.
So I like 2. I used to like meat, but I don't anymore.
Meat, a lot of anglers would use meat. I mean, Grant Alban, I'm going to use Grant as an example. Fantastic angler, and he smashes it to bits fishing meat
Yeah,
shallow.
likes
You know,
some
his
meat,
mugging
doesn't he?
mix. He loves it, doesn't he? Cookie's another one. Steve Cook loves fishing his meat through the water.
Does he?
Oh
Fishes
yeah,
meat a
yeah.
lot.
For like mugging fish, they catch loads of fish
Yeah.
on it.
I just find meat fiddly. You know what I mean? There's some days when it's nice, but I just find it.
I can't honestly. I can't remember the last time I fished meat. It's probably like
No.
3 years ago. We just don't fish it anymore.
I'm saying I very, very rarely put it on the hook just because of its.
Good for cleaning your pole, though, isn't it?
Oh, no, that's what I hate about it. It's just messy.
Like trying to get your sections apart. No, keep slipping.
Yes. I hate how things happen.
Yeah.
I mean, you go to mug one and you move a bit quick and it falls off, and once
That's
you've
why
had
I don't like dobbing in the winter, Joe, with bread.
yes, it falls off. So for me,
Yeah.
a pelleter, 99% of the time I pick a pellet, and I pick a red one.
You're massive on that, mate.
I'm
ain't
obsessed with it. I have my little tub of these. Richie, I don't know if he has a zoom in. He'll probably have a zoom in a bit.
He's
I have a tub of
professional, isn't he?
everything, but it's always these bad boys
Look at you.
that are always the best. Yeah, you think it's going to be a big pellet stands out better, a 6 or an 8 mil? Not a chance. Little 4 mil, plup, and they love it. 4 mil on a gaff, and like a 16 big hook.
It's weird, isn't it? I can't fish like that at all. It's
Unbelievable, honest.
just- yeah. For
Yeah.
me, I go as you've
The
said,
opposite
it's
way, you go
the-
big
yeah,
and for the plop,
big
they're
pellet,
just
big
like
plop.
that. Oh, just mega. So yeah, I have a tub of a bit of everything. It's amazing as well. Different shades of red can be different on the day.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Different, some coppens or some screttins. It's amazing that every day a different pellet can be better.
Yeah, yeah,
But if I was to pick
definitely.
one bait to use forever, yeah, a 4.5 mil red pellet, that's the one.
Is that all you're mucking in one? Is
That
that
is. If that was the last bait I could use for the rest of my life, that's what
See,
I'd have.
I suppose with a band on as well, you're a bit stuck on what you can put on. Whereas I
Yeah.
tend to fish with just a bare hook, because my favourite mugging bait is white maggots, without a doubt. Especially when it's bright like this.
Yeah.
3 or 4 white maggots on. You watch how it falls. It's sort of like the maggots are like this, and they just. The only trouble with it is you can get marthered sometimes with little
Yeah, you get
small
the odd
fish.
little roachy bite where you get a bite.
You're like,
comes
there's
up
a carp
water.
right next to it, and there's like a roach like 5 miles in the air somewhere because you're stuck so hard. But obviously you can change over. You can put like a corn skin on, a bit of bread. You can. There's
Bit
loads of
more
options.
versatile.
But yeah, I'm liking obviously the pellet. That red pellet for one as well. Since I started using that last year, mate. Oh,
It is, it's good. You
It's
put
scary.
with a band, you can put a sneaky wafter and things like that on as well.
yeah, that's it. That's
Well,
a
I'm
good
weird
point
with
as well.
that. I don't know if I like that or not yet.
I've tried it, not so much on a pole, but with a waggler, a pellet waggler, and you foul up low.
I hate it on a waggler.
Yeah. It's not
You know what
right.
I mean? Maybe that, do you know what I mean, with a short rig, mugging rig, but with a waggler like that, I think that it sinks too slow and you don't see a bite because they suck it and spit it because it creates a slack.
Yeah.
So no, well, that's for another day, that story. So I'm happy with everything, yeah.
What about elastic wise? What would you go with elastic wise mugging?
It suits the fish, doesn't it?
Yeah. So grab big uns.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't fish heavy elastics anyway, really, do we?
No.
It's all about getting them back to that puller kit and, you know, just pulling basically, innit?
Yeah.
Keeping the fish low.
It's the right elastic for the open water. That's when you're going to be mugging. For big fish, I don't know. So in my case, it's that 12 to 14 orange slick. In yours, would you go green or white?
10 to 14, yeah, green.
Lovely
Definitely,
green, just to get the job done, innit?
Absolutely.
There's just something proper in it that you don't muck about. So, 2 little tips I do want to talk about.
Go on, mate.
Out there instead. I mean, we haven't got no fishies to nab. But firstly,
I have in my
I want to talk about, I don't know if Rich will be able to get it, but hopefully he will. Have you got them gobbing already with them expanders?
Maybe. Might have pre-baited it.
I want to go through 2 little things out the actual, not the fishing, but things that I believe make a big difference and not scare the fish and make my rig behave better, whatever else. And the first thing that's the most important for me when it's mugging is watching where the shadow is.
Shadow, yeah.
It's everything in it. See where that shadow is. So in today's case, as I'm sat here, the sun's, it's on my right hand side, just nearly above us, but it's on my right hand side, so it's going to cast a shadow. So if you can see that on the left hand side of my pole. Yeah.
So basically, what you're saying, if the fish is swimming that way, you want to avoid it until it gets past.
Yeah, I never want my shadow to cross it.
Or come back in this way. And
even pause, wait for it to go past. So that shadow going over them.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? If you can imagine, you sat there and all of a sudden something whizzes over your head. It's like the seagull thing, isn't it?
Yeah, how many times you got it? Yeah, or a bird flies over the shadow.
Massive thing when it comes to mugging is if that pole's passed over the fish, the shadow of the pole, you will not catch it. It's, what is it? Refraction, isn't it, in the angles that they...
What are you on about, Jamie? Stop it.
But yeah, so in today's case, what I'd want to do is I'd always be coming in from my right.
Bloody refractions.
Yeah. You know what I mean? You want to be shipping over this way.
What, in my peg? So you're going to be shipping into my peg? Is that what you're saying, Rich?
I'd be shipping over here and going round to the fish.
Yeah,
I'd never go this way and come round to a fish that way. So you can see that window wiper's there. See me shadows going all over the place. If I bring it there, Rich, is that better on camera? You can see that it's just like a window wipers every time I move.
Like that, mate.
So the last thing I want is to pay attention to me, is to go over my shadow. So secondly, and this is probably the most important thing with mugging, is keeping your rig tight. And being able to swing it to fish as soon as you can see them.
Yeah, some of them are rapid, Jay, aren't they? They'll have it literally.
You've got to be one to the other, haven't you?
Yeah, so if that line's tight, they hook themselves, don't they?
Yeah, when you swung it in, definitely, yeah. But what I'm on about is a tight line to swing it. So when I first ship out,
right, get you.
I want my rig this side, do you know what I mean? I always want my rig towards me.
Yeah.
So any time I see a fish, I can go to where I want to go, lift up and my rig will go out. And once you've got that pendulum motion going, I can just, do you know what I mean? I can bring it back there and I'll see another one that way. I mean, I've always got
covering
the
a massive area there, aren't you? Brilliant.
Yeah, but it allows you to be...
Oh, you got one, mate, you got one. Oh, it fell off. That was a big swill and all that, Jay.
Was it? The proper one. So yeah, whenever I'm going to go for a fish, I'll try and swing it to me first and put it in the water.
Like that.
You know what I mean? Just so you can always put it towards and you're not...
It's awkward when it's right under your pole to like bring it back and then ship it out and swing it out,
you've got no momentum, have you? If you're there right below your pole and you lift it up, it's very hard to be accurate swinging it to the next one.
Yeah, I like that.
Whereas if it is already tight and my pole's away from it, it's just pick it up and onto the next fish. So much easier.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, another bite then.
There's lots of rudd,
Lots of rudds, mate.
But yeah, so the last thing that we can't really show that you'd have to talk about is the only, when it comes to mugging, is working out where to put your rig, isn't it? As in proportion to how far away from the fish.
Yeah.
I mean, some days I found it on the red.
Yeah. And
just like that, laughing. Mad at laughing. I don't even know how. You put it where you think's perfect, that far in front.
Yeah.
You wouldn't catch one. You slap it on the head.
You think that'd spook him, wouldn't you, where he's whacking it
Mad.
over?
It'd have to be there. I mean, literally right on the nose, and you get up and you think it can't have it.
Yeah.
Weird. Do you know what I mean? But every day is different in it, and just how far they want it, whether they want to look at it, whether they want to swim. Just, you know what I mean? Play about with how far you put your rig in front of the fish.
Yeah.
It makes a massive difference, doesn't
100%.
And it's not individual fish. They'll all have it in that way on the day, and it's weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, hopefully with them little tips in it.
But you can't ignore mugging. You know, we touched on when we first started off. It's a controversial subject, but you've got to do it. You catch so many fish doing it, it's ridiculous.
It is. It's exciting as well, isn't it?
Oh, I love it. I'm like that at the start. Yep, there's one coming in, there's like 4. Did I tell you about that time with Ollie when we went to Larford on the Special League?
Go on.
Gone off subject a bit.
Yeah,
now.
I've told me this. I remember this.
Did I tell you?
Yeah.
So like Ollie's, I think it was on 64 on the Special League. Ollie's gone to get some cans of pop from the clubhouse, and I can see him like legging it back, and he's miles away. I'm like, what's up with him? It's on the waggler. And he gets to like within like 2 pegs away. Dad. He's out of breath when he got there. Dad, there's one coming through, and he's like 12 pegs away. It was a massive thing like that. Mate, he's a bit far away here. I'm chucking over like 6 people. But it's things like that you can like focus on these fish and wait for him to get to you. If no one else has snared it before it gets to you.
If it hasn't been, had to go by 12 anglers to go. But yeah, mugging is something you have to incorporate to do better, isn't it?
Definitely.